Hey, it's Rick with Rock Bottom Outreach, and it's Real Talk Monday. Starting at the age of 4 and 5, all my boys took to the wrestling mat. Up until 2008, they wrestled competitively all across Texas, Oklahoma, etc. Well, when 2008 came and all the changes our family went through, they weren't wrestling any longer. And this past summer, my middle son, Toby, said, hey, I think I want to return to the wrestling mat. I think the schedule would work. So, of course, being a competitor, I was excited about that. And so we started drilling during the summer, kind of getting that feel, starting to kind of hit the moves, the mat again. And we just found out they're about to start official practice at the school. That practice was going to be Monday through Friday, starting at 6:30 a.m. and had to be there at 6:15 to stretch. Well, my boys live a little further from the school, meaning that Toby would have to get up at about 5:15 every day to be at practice. Well, for the first few days, he said, man, if I'm going to do this, it's going to be a grind. It's going to be tough. And, I encouraged him to stay after it. And then one day he called me, and I could tell he was struggling. And I said, son, in life, there's going to be adversity, and things are just going to be tough. And so a little bit later, he texted me and he said, Dad, I'm sorry I'm being so bipolar about this, but I wanted to give it a little more time. I want to continue to try. And so, he went another day. He went Wednesday. I began to pray about this, and I saw what was going on. Toby was doing this because he wanted to please me. He has a schedule of all honors classes. He's in the marching band. He does theater. He would have got very little sleep. And I started looking and saying, man, I'm going to do for my son what he can himself, because I knew he was struggling with the decision. So I sent him a message. I said, son, I've been praying about this. And he said, so have I. I said, son, I'm going to remove you from wrestling. This is not something you need to do this season. Well, I wasn't on the other end of that text message, but I'm sure there was a sign of relief. But here's what I knew. Toby was only doing this to please me. He was doing this for me. And he would have done anything to endure it. And I just couldn't let him do it. I used to think for so long it was my performance that made God love me. It was my performance that made our Heavenly Father love me. I had to perform for him the same way as Toby. And so God knows what's best for us. And sometimes God does for us what we can't ourselves. He even says in Jeremiah 29:11, where he says, I know the plans I have for you. Plans to prosper you, not harm you. Plans to give you hope in the future. And it's the same thing. Is that I saw that my son was willing to give it all to please me. And the same as us with our Father. And God knows our heart to please him. But a lot of times we fall short of the goal. And what does he do? He loves us. He gives us grace and mercy. My point this morning, you don't have to perform for your Father. He loves you either way.